Lewis Williams, Controller.
And
Robin Streets, Deputy City Administrator.
okay. Mr. Streets, do you have a presentation of any type for the Finance Committee?
No, I do not.
Okay. All right. Mr. Lewis, we'd like to discuss the bills list for, well, first of all, I think we need to start off with the Pledge of Allegiance. Would anybody like to do the Pledge of Allegiance? Hello? Is anybody with me? Can you hear me?
Nobody wants to do it. Can you just do it, sir?
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. The first thing on the agenda, I'd like to discuss the bills list for November 2nd bills list. Mr. Lewis Williams?
Yes.
Yeah, most of these items are pretty much, pretty cut and dry. But I do have a couple of questions. What did we litigate Axel Glink, Diamond, and Bush for $54,954?
I mean, there are a number of lawsuits outstanding. Basically, this is for the various liability lawsuits that they're representing us on, and also the hearings before the Liquor Commission are the largest amount. There are two bills. There's one under legal department. There's another under claims. The claims is like the workers' comp and those type things. So the bills are split out between two cases, but basically they're active legal cases, Alderman.
Yeah, Mr. Williams, that's pretty vague, and I'm pretty sure they had something to do with the law and they were legal cases, but that's
what I'm saying is I assume that they executive session gave you guys an update on all the legal cases they're involved out here, and they still continue to have Liquor Commission hearings each month.
Okay.
I can provide the cover sheet which shows the detail of those bills, if that's what the chairman would like.
Well, actually, we'll hold off on that. There's Department number 107, Alderman Ward Expense for the 4th Ward Alderman. I noticed that Alderman Keys has an expenditure for $1,526 on this bills list as well as the other bills list. Can you just give me a brief synopsis on why he's on both bills?
I'm sorry, is it the same amount on both bills lists?
Yes, sir.
That's an oversight. He must have bought it in on the last day of the bill list, and I didn't look and see it was already on the previous bill list. That's what happened. There's only one bill.
Okay, I got you. All right.
I think the dates bumped up against each other.
Okay, and that explains. Co-Chair Randwell, do you have any further questions in regards to this bills list?
No.
You good?
I have no questions in regard to the bills list dated November 5th, 2020.
Okay. Mr. Lewis, I'm going to make a recommendation that we pay everything on this bills list except Legal Department 105, Axel Glink, Diamond, and Bush in the amount of $54,954.07. All in favor? Aye. All opposed? Okay. In favor has. So, we'll have to have further discussion on that one. If you want, we can continue to go to the next bills list.
I have no questions in regard to bills list dated November 24th, 2020.
November? No. We're not on that one. We're on the one post dated from October 1st, 20 to November 5th, 20. That's the one we're on now.
Are you looking at the agenda for, which agenda are you looking at? That's not on the agenda for tonight.
I'm looking at the bills list that was sent to me. I have one for November 5th and one for November 2nd.
You should have November 5th and November 24th.
Yeah, what was the date you have? Yeah, the second one should be November 24th, Alderman.
Okay, let me see. Yes, right. That's the one, November 24th. That's the one we already approved or disapproved. The one dated.
Alderman, that's a correction. The first bills list that we were looking at, according to the agenda, would have been November 5th.
Well, as it stands, Alderman, I don't see any outstanding questions on this one either. We could not have, wait a minute. No, we could not have been right, because this one didn't have Axel Glenn Diamond on it. The other one that we did, that's the only one with Axel Glenn Diamond on it. Unless you were looking at the wrong one initially to start with. But it nevertheless.
Yeah, I have a November 5th and a November 24th bill list on the bill list, but let me check and make sure. Yeah, the first was November 5th, and it did not have, the November 5th one did not have Ansel Blink on it.
Right.
The leak. Okay. The next one dated November 24th does have Ansel Blink on it for $54,954.07.
Yes, sir. That's correct.
So that's the November 24th bill list.
So in essence, Alderman Randall, are you looking at the 24th bill or the one for the 5th?
I was going in accordance with the agenda. The agenda for tonight lists November 5th first. So that's why I said I had no questions for the bills list dated November 5th. I always refer to the date of the bills list so that you would know which one I was referring to.
Okay. And unfortunately, my bad, because I didn't have my agenda pulled up. I just had the bills itself pulled up. So, okay, forgive me for that. Okay, but we can go to November 24th now.
Alderman, November 24th, it was 1-1, so that bill list didn't pass November 24th because Alderman Randall L. voted no.
Right.
And you voted yes. So how does that pass?
It's gonna have to come out. It's gonna have to go before the entire council for recommendation.
Okay. All right. Okay.
All right. Any other questions in regards to the bills list, Alderman Randall?
I have no questions in regards to the bills list dated November 5th, 2020 or November 24th, 2020.
All right. Well, we can continue then. Get my agenda up here. Okay. All right. The next item on the bills list would be city budget for fiscal year 2020. Mr. Williams, are you prepared to elaborate a little bit on that budget?
I mean, we kind of went through the entire budget before. I know the objections about the IT budget and the salary, when one salary was in question. And again, the only thing I would say to that is we're 6 months into the fiscal year already, so I'm not sure what we hope to accomplish by thinking we can cut salaries.
Yeah.
Because we've already paid 6 months of them.
Okay.
Of it.
What's your thoughts on that,
Question.
Sure.
Mr. Williams, when is the tentative date for the posting and public hearing for this budget?
We need to be prepared to do that at the next board meeting because we cannot do a tax levy until a appropriations ordinance or / budget is passed.
You said we need to. So you didn't have. So you said you had a tentative date to do this at the next
meeting.
Council.
At the next meeting, yes, that we need to post this and have a hearing.
Which would be hold on.
The 14th.
December 14th.
Because the next meeting after that's the 28th. So the meeting on the 28th, we would have to pass the budget and we'd have to pass the tax levy, both at the same meeting.
I don't object to that.
Yeah, I don't either.
Because again, the only objections I'm aware of are the IT budget and one person in the administrative services department. I just think 6 months into the year, it's, that should be dealt with next May when we present the next budget.
Well, yeah. And as far as I'm concerned, it's kind of futile to do anything in regards to that right now. Being we're already in half of the budget's already been, we're already in half a year of it. So,
right.
You good? You good, Randall?
Yes, I'm fine with that.
Okay. All right. And I don't know if we got anybody who want to have any public comment. If there's nobody for public comment, I'll make a motion to adjourn the meeting at 5:56.
Tom, I do want to have conversations on the tax levy.
Okay.
Pardon me?
Did you hear that, Mr.
No, I didn't hear.
Williams?
Say that again.
I'm sorry. What did you say?
I have a question regarding the tax levy.
Yes, sir.
So it's on the agenda because I do understand that we can't pass the tax levy until the budget is done, but I also don't want there to be hindrances in passing that tax levy due to, any questions or anything that may come up from that. So one of my questions is in our last tax levy, we levied for a certain amount for the pension. However, I know you had previously stated that we overpaid the tax levy. I'm sorry, the pension fund this year. I believe that number was by almost $300,000 that we overpaid into it. And so I'm saying, is there still a need to levy that additional amount, whereas we could potentially lower that levy and, of course, lower the burden on our taxpayers by not levying for that, since we've already overpaid the pension fund this year?
I would just tell you that is a issue we're having right now, a legal issue that we're having right now, Alderman, that I hope I will put together a levy and do it because, like I said, the police department is arguing that the levy has to be done for a certain amount, irrespective of what they get from the state.
I mean, that's what they're, okay, when you say that there's a legal issue, so is there anything legally saying that we have to levy for the pension as we did last year, or is that just a way in which we try to pay the pension? Because those are two different things.
Some conflicting language in the budget. I mean, in the settlement agreement we signed with the pension fund that says we must levy what the actuarial comes up with, and the actuarial is not taking into consideration the state funds they're getting. So that's how we end up overfunding it. I was on the phone with the lawyers today discussing it. It's something we're going to try to get cleared up in the next week or so.
Okay, Mr. Williams, please, and I'm asking you this so that we have zero hiccups on this tax levy, because we are in a time sensitive. Whatever the legal opinion is from our corporation counsel or whoever our legal team is dealing with this, representing the city on this, the finance committee is requesting a written recommendation from legal in regard to this matter, as far as whether we have to legally levy and put that tax burden on the residents of Harvey for the pension. We want to know from a legal standpoint, from our legal team in writing, what's the determination on that.
Okay, I will do so, Alderman. I will talk with corporate counsel and the counsel that's handling the pension liability issue tomorrow.
Thank you. I have no more questions in regard to the tax levy.
Thank you, Alderman Randall. That was a very good insightfulness on that tax levy information. Mr. Williams, thank you also I look forward to getting that a recommendation from corporate counsel on if it's going to be any additional burden on the residents here in the city. With that being said, I guess we already know that there's no public comment, so I make a motion to adjourn the meeting.
I follow that recommendation.
All right. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. All righty, gentlemen. Have a great evening.